Oh yeah, Paul the Pipe Guy here. On the Paul Gilson YouTube channel. Yeah. So we have an interesting video tonight that's probably going to cost me 10 or 20 subscribers. I want to blame John Kruger, my good buddy John Kruger. Most of you know who he is. And I was like, hey man, I'm thinking about doing a video with this topic. What do you think? What do you think? And he's like, do it. All right. So it is PG-13 rated. So if you have children that are in the room and you're watching this, don't watch it in front of children. It's got adult content in it. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. So grab your favorite pipe, grab your favorite blend, and yeah, whatever you want to drink, and let's have a Tuesday night smoke together. Yeah. Alrighty, so yeah, we've got my Mr. Bragg. Man, look at that pipe. Mr. Bragg, it's number, I don't know, 89 stand-up pipe, 86 stand-up pipe, I can't remember, I don't know. And we've got it full of some Two Friends Celtic Mist from, oh no, it's full of Lane Bulk Hazelnut. All right, so we got Lane Bulk Hazelnut. All right, there we go. Let's set something on fire. So last night I just wasn't feeling up to par. And so I went to bed at like 7 p.m. early. Got up at 5 o'clock this morning. Went to work. I was feeling kind of okay. And then after I punched in at work at like 6:30, I just started feeling sore, flu-like symptoms, not stomach virus or anything, just feeling horrible. By 8:30, I was like, oh man, I gotta go home. I can't, there's no way I can do my job here. So I came home. I was home by 8:30. Saw my landlord leave for work. Slept till 3. And then when I woke up, his car was back at home, like way early. I said, hey man, are you sick too? And he's like, yeah, I got the stomach bug. It's like, I don't have the stomach bug. I can eat and stuff like that, even though I haven't eaten at all today yet. I just feel like I'm stuffed up and plugged up and oh, I feel terrible. But cheers. We got some bourbon here. I poured a little glass. It tends to help things. So let's talk about something. Now, John Kruger, he'd be the type of guy that if we were in high school together, like I said before, and me and my buddies went to jump off a 50-foot bridge or something into the Erie Canal, he'd be rooting us on, but he wouldn't do it. So I asked him, I says, hey man, I'm thinking about making a video on why do people think that poop and farts are so funny. And he's like, do it. So here we go. It's rated PG-13, all right? So if you got kids in here, don't watch this in front of them, all right? We're going to talk about some of them things, and then we're going to talk about some other things that they shouldn't hear unless they're 18 or older. So my landlord, I live in a double, all right? And so he's got the stomach bug. He's feeling like sick to his stomach. And so I go out to him, and he goes out on the front porch for a cigarette. He doesn't smoke in his house. And I was like, hey, man, I need you to do me a favor tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to work or even get out of the house. I feel horrible. He's like, what's that, man? This is, look, can you run this in the village of Brockport for me? It's in a medical bag, all sealed up. And I go to hand it to him, he grabs it, and he's like, well, what the fuck is this? I says, it's the last 5 days stool sample. I've kept it in the fridge. He's like, what the fuck, man? Throws it out in the snow. I'm like, my shit's damaged, all right? I was like, dude, I'm just kidding you, man. It's Black Irish Twist tobacco. It's not a stool sample. I was like, here, smell it. He's like, no, I want up. He's like going, he's ready to puke. I waited for an hour for him to come out and smoke a cigarette just to do that. All right. That's why this video is so late. So let's talk about, why do people think that poop and farting is so funny? I mean, if you're in a room full of people, somebody leans over and everybody laughs. They do. Now, I've got a brother-in-law. He's a great guy. All right. He's actually from the UK. He's from London, England. Okay. And I remember about 20 years ago, it was my mom's 60th birthday, whatever it was. I leaned over, I cranked out a fart, man. I was like, oh. And his 2 kids who were little at the time, they were laughing. And he looks at me and he's like, Paul, I don't find potty humor very humorous. Please don't do it in front of my children again. And my sister's behind him, trying not to laugh. And she's like mouthing, I'm sorry. I was like, oh, okay, man, that's okay. And so yeah. When you start to get older, all right, there's a little valve, all right, that you have. This is the truth, and you older people will agree with me if you're 60 or over. If you feel a fart coming on, there's a little valve that when you were younger, it would instantly close up, all right? If you were going to shit your pants, okay? Instantly. Well, that valve over time slows down a little bit. And it only takes 1/600 of a second for a fart to turn into shit in your pants. So, farts sometimes are not safe. You can be like, oh, I got a great fart, and brrr, all of a sudden it's like, whoa, clean up on aisle 4. And it's worst if it's at work. I'll tell you what, I had that happen one time. One of the worst experiences of my entire life. This was horrible. I worked at a Dodge dealership. I was probably about 29 years old. And I'd been out partying the night before, dancing and all this stuff and drinking and whatever we did back then, and I wasn't feeling too good the next morning, and I'm on my way to work, and I had to cross the Genesee River, where I had to cross the Genesee River to get to the car dealership that I worked at. There was this old ancient raising bridge. It was the Stutson Street Bridge. Okay? And every morning at 9 o'clock, the cement barge would come through Canada. It was a big ship, huge, monster ship. And it delivered cement from Canada to the United States, across Lake Ontario, so forth. And so I knew I always needed to be there at the bridge, like at 5 or 10 minutes to 9. So I'm on my way to work, all right? All of a sudden, I feel my stomach go, you know that, where all of a sudden you feel everything go like a gallon worth of like liquids go from like your stomach all the way down. to the end of the line. And I was like, oh man, I'm pinching my cheeks so hard. I put a crease in the leather interior of my car. I got $1,000 custom-made suit on, which nowadays would be like a $5,000 custom-made suit. And I don't want to shit my pants. And all of a sudden, I'm like, all right, I'm almost over the bridge. All right, it was my turn to unlock the dealership that day. And all of a sudden, ding, 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 ding. The bridge starts going up. I can't cross. The freaking boat, the ship, the cement barge came 10 minutes early. The captain's waving to everybody. I'm like, I got a shit, man, so bad. I was like, and I'm squeezing it. And you know what it's like when you're squeezing it back in. You don't want to let anything come out. I was that close to like jumping out of the car, going next to somebody's houses in the bushes, and just like, but I was like, no, wait a second. I think I got this under control. Okay, it's under control. The bridge is going down, ding, 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 ding. I was like, okay, we're okay. And everything was okay until I sneezed. When I sneezed, there was an eruption. It went from my balls to my back of my belt loops. That's how bad it was. It looked like a shitty diaper that a baby's been in for like 24 hours. It was horrible. It just went instantly, instant eruption. And I'm like, fuck. So I get over. By now it's like 5 minutes after 9. It's a Monday morning. There's a bunch of customers waiting there. All my salespeople. And you got to admit, we were right next to the Lake Ontario beach. The water was right there. So I'm walking in, man, and I got my legs apart, all right? And I'm kind of walking in, and they're like, Paul, what's the matter? You're walking funny. I was like, I hurt my back. I was trying not to make the mess any worse. And I go to unlock the door. I got all of these colored people, because we dealt with a lot of colored people. I love those people. They're hilarious. All right, they can appreciate, black people can appreciate true humor. White people are too uptight. If there was 1,000 black people watching my channel tonight doing this video, I'd have 2,000 more of them as subscribers tomorrow. They would think it was hilarious. And Smokin' Syed would agree with me. All right. They love humor. All right. So I'm walking up. I shit my pants, like I said, from my balls to the back of my belt loops on my pants. It's going up the back of my shirt. I go up there, and all of a sudden these people, they're all standing close to me next to the door, and they're like, oh man, something smells like shit. I was like, yeah, I smell it too. So, something dead must have washed up on the beach over there. Oh, that's horrible. So I get the door open. I go into the bathroom, okay? And I'm cleaning up, man. The underwear was unsalvageable for the day. And no, it didn't have to be one of those like 6 or 8 hour days. It happened to happen on a 14-hour day. Yeah. I cleaned up the best I could. There's salespeople knocking on the bathroom door. It was like just one stall. It was an old building. I was like, dude, I'll be out in a minute. You've been in there a half hour. I was like, dude, I got a little problem here, all right? I'll be out when I'm out. Tell your customer to wait. And it was horrible, man. I just threw the underwear away and I cleaned up the best I can, but it's like my pants on my $1,000 suit were sticking to my butt all day, and I could just smell it. And it was terrible. Oh my God. All right, so we've graduated to a cigarette. No, I did not quit. I'm not a quitter. Sorry, guys. So anyway, you know, now I don't even want to go where I'm thinking about going. No, that's just a wrong thing to do. Yesterday I did a video and I lost a couple of subscribers. And last night's video I was talking about calling New York State quit hotline, quit smoking. And I think I'm starting to get like those Bonnie Raitt or Aerosmith gray fucking streaks. Hey guys, is that a gray streak or blonde? I think it looks gray. Anyways, a couple people took offense because this person was asking me about my sexual preferences and all this stuff, and I came out with a statement that what does the heck it has to do with whether I suck dick or not to get my patches through New York State. It should have sucking dick or not, which I don't do. If I could suck my own dick, I would, all right? But I'm not going to suck anybody else's dick because I already have one, all right? And I'm a 5-star heterosexual, okay? Meaning I am not gay. So a couple people must have taken real offense to that, and they unsubscribed. Well, it'll be interesting to see the turnout after tonight's video. Yeah. So, as far as like anal sex and stuff like that, which is really the only way that gay men can have intercourse is with anal sex. And, even with women and stuff like that, I've, had women and so forth. Some women, when they get drunk, really like anal sex. I never liked it because I thought it was dirty. It's like you put your John Thomas in there, and when you're done, you pull it out. You got a brown necktie on. It's like, what the hell's up with that? There's popcorn kernels on there too. I had a buddy of mine, he picked up a girl, did the same thing, had anal sex with her, and all of a sudden he was getting real deep, and she's like, ah! He says, I pulled it out, and he says, there was a bleached out piece of lettuce on the head of my penis. I was like, that's really wonderful to know, Joe. Anyway. So anyways, I think my landlord may have thrown up when I told him I had 5 days worth of stool samples saved up and needed him to run them down to my doctor. I got this 8 ounces of Black Irish Twist in today, and I'll tell you what, it smells like barbecue. Okay, I love it. So anyways, that's about all I got for you. I can't think of any more that I want to share. So I hope everyone enjoyed this video. It's all John Kruger's fault. And why do people think that poop and farting is funny? It's body function that happens most likely sometimes on purpose and sometimes by accident. And people think that when you shit your pants, it's funny. They think it's funny because it's not happening to them. They think when you fart and you lean over, they think it's great. Actually, in some countries, it's very customary that after dinner you burp or you fart It's a compliment, believe it or not. You're supposed to say, excuse me, but, I don't know. Anyways, I would love to hear your comments on this video. Corn cob, what do you think there, Robert Cornelius? I don't know if I'm going to work tomorrow. If I still feel like, is that a gray streak? Again, is that a gray streak? Because like from here down, it's blonde. But from there up, it's like gray. No, it looks, I'm getting older.